Yes, good morning. Today we'll discuss about transgenic animals, which is the next topic in biotechnology applications. So, what are the transgenic animals? Transgenic animals are those where animals with modified genome. Usually, with the help of biotechnology, we are producing genetically modified organisms. If that genetically modified organisms are developed as an animal, then it is called as a transgenic animal. Here, what are these transgenic animals means? These are animals with an introduced foreign DNA. Introduced foreign DNA. If any DNA what we are taking, that DNA we are taking, then that is introduced with the vector. That vector is made into rDNA molecule. That rDNA molecule is introduced into an animal host. That animal host which has this introduced foreign DNA molecule is called transgenic animal. Many transgenic animals are there. That transgenic animals are used to produce many products. Okay, different uses are there. Here, many transgenic animals are being produced. Like, what are that transgenic animals means? Mice is being produced. I mean, most of the transgenic animals, which are around 95% of transgenic animals, are mice only. Here, along with that mice, cows are being modified, even dogs are modified, and even monkeys are also being modified, and even transgenic pig, transgenic sheep, rabbits, like that transgenic chicks, transgenic fishes. Okay, chicks also being produced, and even fish also produced. Like that, different types of organisms are modified with their genetic material, and they are modified into transgenic animal. What we are doing in this modification of an organism means a foreign DNA is taken from an external source. What is external source? External source means here self source is animal. Other than that self DNA, an other source DNA was taken. That DNA is introduced into a vector. That vector is introduced into the host organism with the help of which one? Retrovirus mediated gene transfer, or we can use micro injection type of gene transfer, or we can use transformation also. By using transformation or retrovirus or micro injection mediated gene transfer, okay, we can transfer that rDNA into the host. We can use, yes, electroporation also is useful. Formation of transient force with the use of electricity. So, by using these methods, rDNA molecule is introduced into a host. That host is an animal. That animal is now called as transgenic animal. These transgenic animals are useful in many areas. In many fields and areas, these transgenic animals are being used. We'll give some examples. See here, what usually we are doing here is retrovirus mediated or micro injection or transformation electroporation methods we are doing, right? But if we use transformation process, for that transformation process, rDNA is protected in a lipid body called liposome. rDNA is protected in the liposome. That is called what? Liposome mediated gene transfer. That liposome protects the rDNA that is responsible for transfer. First of all, see that liposome, then we'll give examples for this everyone. What is that liposome? Usually lipids are forming bilayers, you know. Yeah, phospholipids, which have hydrophobic tail and hydrophilic head parts. When they are mixed with water, they form bilayer. If that bilayer is like a bubble, like a droplet, if a bilayer is formed like a droplet, then internal to that bilayer, this is a total bilayer. Internal to that, there is presence of aqueous condition. Hydrophilic condition is there, and outside this, hydrophilic condition is there. Middle there is hydrophobic. See here that liposome I am drawing like this. This is a lipid bilayer. Lipid bilayer. Heads are present inside. Due to presence of heads, all sides. Here there is aqueous environment. Outside aqueous environment. If this is enclosed by one more lipid bilayer, this is a type of liposome. Liposome is like a bubble which is surrounded by a bilayer, but inside that there is aqueous environment. This is two-layered liposome. This is single-layered liposome. If one more bilayer is surrounded by it, then it is bilayer liposome. Now, this is aqueous environment. This bilayer structure is there now. From here to here, this is hydrophobic, and here heads are outside. Hydrophilic, middle. Again, this has head part, tail part. Head part, tail part. That means this is hydrophilic. Middle one is hydrophobic. Okay, like that bilayers are formed. In this liposome mediated transfer, rDNA is kept here inside the liposome. Then it is added to a cell. When liposome attaches to the cell, what will happen? Cell has cell membrane. So the cell membrane, what is lipid bilayer is there. That lipid bilayer of the cell and this liposome external layer, they will combine, and it is released into the cell. So this will become one single layer. Cell layer combines with the cell plasma layer, plasma membrane layer combines with the one layer of liposome, and inner layer of liposome will be released into the cytoplasm now. Okay. That lipid bilayer of inner layer of that cytoplasm is there. That is combining with the nuclear membrane again, right? Nuclear membrane is also a lipid bilayer. As the nuclear membrane is also a lipid bilayer, this combines with this, and rDNA, what is there, that is directly incorporated into the nucleus. Like that we can do. So, whenever we use that transfer of rDNA by physical process like transformation or transduction, that can be protected by using this liposome mediated gene transfer. rDNA can be enclosed inside a liposome, and that rDNA can be transferred into the host organism by physical processes like microinjection also. In microinjection also, we can do that process like liposuction. Liposome mediated gene transfer we can do in microinjection method also. Okay. Like that, based on that, these organisms are produced. I mean, transgenic animals are produced for mice. 95% of transgenic animals are mice only. Why? Because? Why? Yeah. Mice genome, 99% of mice DNA are counterparts of human genome. So mice genome, when we compare the size of mice genome and human genome, mice genome is very small, or is very smaller in size than human genome. But all the genes of mice are parts of human DNA. Okay, understand? Human DNA is very long in size. Suppose 23 pairs of chromosomes are there. Mice genome is very small. All the parts of that DNA are present in human DNA somewhere as small speck. That's all. All human DNA is not present in mice. All mice DNA are parts of human genome. Okay, and transgenic organisms are produced for monkeys also because of relationship between humans and monkeys. Both humans and monkeys are primates. As they are primates and genetically related as per evolution, that transgenic monkeys are produced for testing the safety of some chemicals and vaccines. Okay, like this, transgenic organisms are being produced. That transgenic animals are used in various fields. See that applications are uses of transgenic animals. Transgenic animals, first usage, study of physiology and development. Study of physiology and development. Normal physiology. What is physiology? Study of physiology and development. Physiology means all the metabolic activities which are taking place in an organism and how the development is taking place in an organism. That is what we can say physiology. For the studying the physiology and development, we can use the transgenic animals as model organisms. Why? Because if we see the physiology during the development or during metabolic activities, there are many changes are taking place, right? Many changes are taking place. That changes may be causing some differences in physiology also. Yes or no? I mean, normal physiology is there. Normal growth is there. That normal growth can be affected by introducing some any other factors like that. Suppose in presence of growth hormone, one level or one rate of growth is there, normal growth. When growth hormone is present, then growth will be somewhat altered. When insulin is not produced, physiology is somewhat different, which is causing hyperglycemia and diabetes mellitus. Yes or no? Whereas in presence of insulin, that physiological activity is affected where glucose concentrations is controlled like that. That physiology we can study, and development of an organism in presence of any substance, that can also be studied. Okay, suppose take an example, insulin-like growth hormone is given, I think an example. Insulin-like growth hormone. What is that insulin-like growth hormone? Insulin-like growth hormone is not original somatotropin, which is growth hormone. Original growth hormone is produced by anterior pituitary, which is somatotropin peptide hormone, that is responsible for normal growth. Insulin-like growth hormone is a hormone that is similar in insulin like a peptide, and it is inducing the growth. Suppose if we directly give that insulin-like growth hormone to any person, if there is any abnormal growth or physiology is altered, means then it will become some problem. Yes or no? It will become some issue. So what we are doing here is insulin-like growth hormone can be introduced into any another animal. Insulin-like growth hormone, suppose if it is a human protein, human hormone, that human hormone is introduced into any other organism like mice or monkey, and the effect of that insulin-like growth hormone can be studied. Yes or no? So transgenic monkey is produced to study the effect of insulin-like growth hormone. That is one we can do. Okay? And second application is study of pathophysiology. Pathophysiology means spread of the disease. Spread of the disease and effects of the disease, effects of the pathogen on an organism that can be studied. See here, what is the pathophysiology? Pathology means the study of diseases. Pathophysiology means whatever the changes taking place during the infection. Okay, that is the study of disease. Usually many pathogens are there which are causing diseases. You know, diseases is different, disorder is different, symptom is different, syndrome is different. So a disease is developed in a host when there is infection by a pathogen. Normally, what are the pathogens? Pathogen may be microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, and even viruses and some allergens. Allergens, allerging agents are there. They may be causing some diseases where immunal activities may be suppressed or some diseases are there. That's all. So that infection is developed by which pathogen? That is a question. Whether a disease is developed or caused by a bacteria or fungi or virus, and what is the mode of its transmission? How that disease is being spread to different individuals? Okay, and what are the organs affected by the pathogenic infection? And what are the symptoms developed? If we know all of this, then treatment will be easy. Coming to COVID-19, suppose if you see, COVID-19 mode of transmission is through physical contact. So physical contact is suppressed or stopped by social distancing. So that spread was somewhat controlled. So for every pathogen there is one mode of transmission, and that COVID-19 is causing, affecting which organ? Especially tracheary infections or tracheary abnormalities it is causing, and it is finally leading to pneumonia. So that if we find that effect of a pathogen on a person, which organ is affected and what are the symptoms developed, then treatment can be done very easily. But to spread the to finding or studying the spread of the disease and the symptoms developing, how can we find that spreading or symptoms? We can't directly infect a person with a pathogen, right? I am trying to find the effectiveness of COVID-19, and I am trying to find the spreading of that COVID-19, and I am trying to find the symptoms developed and its effects. To find that, I can't expose myself to the COVID-19, or I can't expose anyone to the COVID-19. Yes or no? That is a risk. So that these transgenic animals are produced. Okay, that transgenic animals can be produced and that can be infected with a pathogen, and that mode of transmission and development of diseases and everything can be studied. Nowadays, these transgenic organisms are developed, transgenic animals are being available as a model organism for studying with which diseases? Cancer, cystic fibrosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and Alzheimer's. For these diseases, transgenic animals are available as model organisms for studying the spread of diseases and everything. Okay, so transgenic animals are available nowadays for these diseases as model organisms to find that. Then producing biological products Transgenic animals can be used for production of many biological products. That biological products can be useful for treatment of some disorders or diseases or something. Many biological products which have nutritional importance can be produced. Okay, see some example. These biological products can be produced like alpha-1 antitrypsin. Alpha-1 antitrypsin is a product which is used in treatment of emphysema. Emphysema is a trachea infection, respiratory disorder. Okay, for that emphysema, this alpha-1 antitrypsin was produced. That alpha-1 antitrypsin can be produced in transgenic animals and it can be used for treatment. Similarly, if you take alpha-lactalbumin, alpha-lactalbumin is a milk protein which is present in human milk. Human milk contains a protein called alpha-lactalbumin. This alpha-lactalbumin is introduced into cow's milk, whereas this cow's milk, cow has beta-lactalbumin. This beta-lactalbumin is a whey protein which is allergen. Beta-lactalbumin is a whey protein and it is allergen. Alpha-lactalbumin is milk protein which is present in human milk, but there is beta-lactalbumin which are similar, but this is produced by cows normally. Normal cows produce beta-lactalbumin. That beta-lactalbumin is a whey protein and allergen. Whey protein means which is indigestible. Usually from milk we will produce curdling, cheese or curd is produced. How? Digestion, partial digestion and coagulation of casein protein forms cheese or that curd. After the formation of cheese or curd, some proteins left behind that which is undigested. That proteins are called as what? Whey protein. That whey proteins are allergens which is undigestible and causes allergic reaction. That normal cows have this protein. Now, whereas alpha-lactalbumin is a human protein that is useful, right? Alpha-lactalbumin is a protein which is synthesizing from a gene. So the gene which is encoding for alpha-lactalbumin can be transferred into cow. That cow will produce now alpha-lactalbumin. Like that, a cow, first transgenic cow was produced which is called Rosie. Rosie is first transgenic cow produced which gives 2.4 grams alpha-lactalbumin per 1 liter. Yeah. Alpha-1 lactalbumin is produced around 2.4 grams per 1 liter of milk by Rosie. So that alpha-lactalbumin enriched cows are produced. Not only this, many other products like blood clotting factors. What are blood clotting factors? Factor in blood clotting mechanism, there is involvement of intrinsic and extrinsic factors. Okay, that intrinsic and extrinsic factors are there which are involving in blood clotting mechanism, whereas that deficiency of that blood clotting factors cause hemophilia. Hemophilia is caused by that deficiency of blood clotting factor. So that blood clotting factors can be produced by this transgenic animals and that can be used for the treatment of hemophilia. Similarly, tissue plasminogen activator is another one which is also produced by this transgenic animal, which is used as similar to clot buster. Clot buster is there not streptokinase A, which is used to digest the blood clots in blood vessels. Similar to that clot buster tissue kinase A, tissue plasminogen activator can also be used. that is used as a clot buster to dissolve the blood clots in the blood vessel. Tissue plasminogen activator, blood clotting factors, and interleukins, which are immune related compounds that are encouraging antigen antibody interactions. Interleukins can also be produced by these transgenic animals. So transgenic animals are useful in production of many biological products like that. That biological products are useful for treating some disorders or something. Okay, these are biological products. Then next application of transgenic animals. 3 applications complete. 4th one, vaccine safety. What is vaccine safety? Finding the safetiness of vaccine. When a vaccine is produced for any disease or a pathogen, that vaccine, is it safe to organism or human beings or not? First, it should be checked on any other organism like transgenic animals, then only it is allowed to test on humans. Because all vaccines may not be efficient on human beings. Suppose many vaccines, like a polio vaccine is there, polio vaccine which is being popularly used. How that vaccines are being produced normally? Not only polio vaccine, deadly preparation of a pathogen is called as a vaccine. Yeah, that suppressed pathogenic activity, but immunogenic activity is present. Pathogen is nothing but antigen. Antigen has 2 properties. One is pathogenicity, second one is immunogenicity. Pathogenicity is lost in the antigen, immunogenicity is maintained, so that the disease is not developed but it gives immunity. That is vaccine. That vaccines, first when we are testing the vaccine safety, first it should be checked on some other animals other than human beings. Suppose if vaccine is not safe, that will cause some problems in the person. Okay, that may alter the pathophysiology. I mean, disease can be spread. There is a risk of developing disease. So whether the vaccine is safe to the person, a human or not, that can be checked by this vaccine safety process. Like polio vaccine and many vaccines are there. For vaccine safety, many organisms like monkeys, mice, even rats, they are being used for testing the vaccine safety. If we produce transgenic humans by genetic engineering, wait, that ethical issue will become. Apart from that ethical issues, okay, apart from ethical issues, if we develop a transgenic human, if transgenic humans are produced, I mean by not a transgenic human, if humans are produced by tissue culture, by cloning, okay, suppose I need to get 500 seats from Pinnacle in NEET 2021. Okay, suppose I chose a girl. I have a confidence that she can get a seat guarantee. Okay, suppose if I have enough time, I can clone 500% of same girl and I will send all that girls to the medical college. No, that we can introduce. That based on that genome, mental ability and IQ, intelligence quotients will be depending on genetic level. Yeah, IQ level is depending on genetic combinations also. Like that we can do. Nothing is possible in genetic engineering. So, suppose nothing is impossible. Sorry. Nothing is impossible in genetic engineering. So, if we do like that, but our aim is to study the vaccine safety. Suppose for one person, if clones are produced, then that clones can be used for the safetiness of the vaccine. But ethically, that is not allowed because it gives a threat to the humanness. In next topic we will see that. Then one more application is there. Yeah, what is that? Next, checking chemical safety. Chemical safety. Apart from vaccine, if any medicine or chemical substance is being used for the purpose of treating or curing diseases, that chemical safety, whether it is toxic or not toxic to the human beings, that can be checked by using these transgenic organisms. So transgenic animals can be used for checking the chemical safety, because all these chemical safety or vaccine safety, whether a drug or medicine or something vaccine is produced, that is not directly allowed to check on human beings, because it may cause any adverse effects, then the person will be suffering more. So that first their safety is checked on some other transgenic animals. That transgenic animals are checked first, they are monitored. If it is safe, then only it is allowed. This process of checking all this is called safetiness of vaccine or safetiness of chemicals or drugs or medicines on human beings. It is a step or it is a part of downstream processing which is called as clinical trials. By clinical trials, we can do this all processes. You refer to that NCERT, some more is given, I think. Okay, then write some important transgenic organisms or animals I will list. You can copy that. Transgenic fish. Transgenic fish. Hyphen example, salmon fish, first produced transgenic fish is salmon fish for meat. Food production. For food production it was produced. Then transgenic chick. Transgenic chick. Hyphen resistant to ALV, avian leukosis virus. Avian leukosis virus. Avian leukosis virus is causing a disease in poultry and yes. Bird flu, avian flu. Avian leukosis virus, which is causing disease in poultry and cause the death of the poultry, that can be suppressed. Then transgenic rabbit. Hyphen human growth hormone inserted. Human growth hormone inserted into rabbit means rabbit will grow fast and give more production. Okay, and it is used for interleukin and TPA production. Transgenic rabbit, interleukin, TPA, tissue plasminogen activator. Transgenic sheep. Transgenic sheep. Alpha-1 antitrypsin. Tracy. Tracy is transgenic sheep, transgenic rabbit, you wrote. That is all not required. Transgenic dog. Transgenic dog, Ruppy. RUPPY. Ruby puppy. Ruby puppy is simply called Ruppy. Ruby puppy, which is a Ruppy, that is the first transgenic dog. Okay, right. This is about transgenic animals which are being used for different purposes. Yeah, we have 10 more minutes. why it is produced? Actually, that transgenic dog has fluorescent properties, I think. Yes, yes. Wait. Yeah, wait, I will tell you. Ruby puppy, Ruppy is the first transgenic dog which is created in 2009. Ruppy and all her siblings express a fluorescent protein which glows red under UV light. Under UV light, they are glowing right like red color. Yes, yes. Okay. That is the fluorescent protein is expressed in the ruby puppy. This is about transgenic animals. Then, ethical issues. What is the ethical issue? Usually, these ethics means values. We have to maintain ethics in a classroom. We have to maintain some ethics. Ethics means what is here means some sets of moral principles that describe what to do, what not to do. These moral principles are different from field to field. In genetic engineering also, we have to confine our research to a field or to a research area where it is safe for the human beings or society or any other animal. Whatever the genetic engineering process we are taking, whether it is harming any human or whether it is harming any other animal or it is showing any negative impact on society or it is destroying or harming environment, these all properties we have to keep in mind, and according to that we have to develop a method or something in the field of biotechnology. So these ethical issues means some set of moral principles. That moral principles we have to follow. If we don't follow these moral principles, then that human beings may be suffered from the products of this genetic engineering, or any other animals may be suffered, even societies may damage, and even world or total human beings may be that is a claim only. We don't know an evidence. We don't have an evidence regarding where corona is developed. Okay. That was developed there. Whether it is created as a weapon like bioweapon or whether it is created naturally, that we don't know. That we don't know. We don't have any evidence. Some countries are claiming that corona was artificially created in the laboratory as a bioweapon and spread to all. Okay, that is different. See here some sets of moral principles we have to follow for any research field in the biotechnology. Because if we producing genetically modifying organisms, if we are producing genetically modifying organisms, that results in physiological changes also. Yes or no? Total physiology will be changing. Total organism's original properties is being modified. Yes or no? An organism is modified with genetic modifications, its genome is we are modifying. Genome is modified means its physiological properties all are changing. So that modification may be causing some adverse effects. What are the chances of this developing problems means that chances I will tell you, you write one by one. I mean, what are the problems or issues related to the ethical issues due to biotechnology or genetic engineering? One by one. Transferring allergens. Transferring allergens from GM food to humans. When we are changing transgenic plants, I mean when plants are being modified into transgenic food crops, there may be transfer of some allergens from that plant to human beings. That is one problem, concern. Next one, risk of changing fundamental nature of vegetable. Changing fundamental nature of vegetable. What is the fundamental? Just to take an example, flavor sour tomato we produced. Flavor sour tomato has a fundamental nature of giving tomato flavor. When tomato is ripened, then it gives some flavor. But flavor sour tomato can be preserved for a long time, but original flavor will be lost. That is change in the original fundamental nature. Next, harmful effects on biodiversity and environment. Harmful effects on biodiversity and environment. Next, chance of or risk of gene pollution and formation of super weeds. Gene pollution. We are transferring a gene from one organism to another organism. When we transfer that gene from one organism to another organism, that combination of DNAs may give some extra DNA. That is causing genetic contamination or gene pollution, so that undesirable characters may also develop. Undesirable characters may also develop by chance. That is one. Next, change in natural evolution pattern. Next, cruelty and suffering towards animals. Cruelty and suffering towards animals. Next, transfer of human genes into animals. Transfer of human genes into animals is a threat to humanness. Is a threat to humanness. If human characters are expressed in animals, means animals' survival will become issue, because according to that evolution, survival survival of the fittest. I mean, which has best properties, they can survive. Okay, that problem will become a threat. Next, no respect to living beings. Biotechnology has no respect to any living being. It exploits animals or organisms for commercial use. If any method is developed, there is no moral principle in the scientific process. Its aim is to use a biological resource or an organism for the commercial purpose. These are the chances or issues or risks what are developed or concerned with the biotechnology research. So all these are the problems which are raising. So that problems which are raising due to the research in biotechnology, that problems have to be solved by biotechnology itself. For that monitoring, there is a committee of monitoring the research in the field of biotechnology, which is called as Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. Genetic Engineering Approval Committee is a consortium or group of scientists. They will monitor all the research areas or fields which are being conducted in the field of genetic engineering, and they will approve a work for the human usage. Okay, this Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, they will allow such kind of works in the field of genetic engineering. Whether a process is designed means that process has to be implemented, that process has to be carried, or that work can be implemented or not. If any product is produced means that product whether it is used for human purpose or not, like that. Here in India recently 2 vaccines are got approval. DCIG, drug controller, what DCGI, yeah, yeah, that Covaxin, one vaccine, one is Serum Institute, another one is Bharat Biotech. 2 vaccines are approved, got approval for the human usage. I think Drug Controller General of India, DCGI. DCGI is a committee which allows usage of drugs and chemicals in India, like GEAC. Drug Controller General of India, something is there. An organization, that name I can't remember now. Drug Controller General India, I mean, that committee will allow drugs in Indian market. If any medicine is released in India means that medicine has to get approval from this committee, DCGI. Okay. So that committee, like GEAC, this is a committee in India which is working for approval of the medicines and usage on human beings. Like that, this GEAC. This GEAC will monitor all the work which are being carried in biotechnology, and for proper usage and authorization, they will give some patent to the work or the product in the form of biopatent. What is this biopatent? Biopatent is a trademark or license for a product or a procedure or a methodology in the field of biotechnology where authorized persons can only use the biopatent for the usage. Any product, whether it is related to health or something, a product got a trademark or biopatent means an authorized person will be allotted a biopatent, which is a license or a trademark for the use of that product or a methodology. Okay, that persons can only use that biopatent. Other persons are not allowed to use the process or methodology or a product. That is called what? Biopatent. This biopatent is usually given for what? Any new invention. If anything was found newly, a new work was conducted or a product was invented newly, that can be allotted. An invention including a product, a new invention which was newly introduced or found, that can be allotted a biopatent, or improvement to earlier invention. Improvement to earlier invention. Suppose the new invention means what is Covaxin? That is a new invention. Improvement to earlier invention. Suppose, take an example, Alexander Fleming found penicillin. That penicillin, one penicillin he found and it was being used as an antibiotic. Later, different types of penicillins were found, like ampicillin. Okay. So new strains or new varieties or new types of penicillin were discovered that were efficient than the older one. So this is a new invention. For the old one, when it was newly invented, a biopatent was allotted. When new improvement was done for that, then also biopatent can be allotted. And another one is there, the process of generating a product and as a concept of design. A process or concept or a design which is related to the production of a product. For that also biopatents can be given. Okay. So if we discuss about this process or design or concept, some foodstuffs are allowed in markets with some particular brand names only. Some food items with a particular brand names only. Why? Because they have patents. Okay. But Some companies without bio patent, I mean, some companies didn't reveal the product process. I mean, how a product can be prepared, that concept they didn't reveal. Very good example. This is somewhat funny and interesting. Do you know KFC? KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken. KFC. Do anyone know recipe of KFC preparation?
Actual recipe was actually now what you're eating is not the actual recipe. It's actually something modified. Hot crispy only now you are eating. But the actual recipe is completely different.
Tirunelveli halwa. Here someone Afrin is saying Tirunelveli halwa is a patent. It is a marketed into by a brand name. Okay, wait, discuss about this KFC chicken. In world, no one knows the process or this design or the concept of the KFC. Why? Because they kept the process or design secret. What they think is they didn't take bio patent also, not bio patent, they didn't take a patent for KFC preparation. Why? Because if they take a patent for KFC preparation, that design or concept they have to put in front of the, approval committee. For taking a patent, that design they have to submit to the approval committee. So then they will give this patent. If that persons are applying for patent, that concept will be revealed to the all society world. So they kept that concept secret without taking a patent. That's why, the recipe which is like KFC is not being prepared at any place in the world. Exact recipe of KFC cannot be prepared at any place in the world. Why? Because that design is secret. If workers, there is no chance of revealing by workers of KFC also. Listen, why? Because, sir, wait 5 minutes. If you take KFC preparation, that recipe, I think, according to my knowledge, in around 5 different plants, they are preparing these recipe powders. Like ingredients, some parts they will prepare in different plants, and in one plant they will be combining with different compositions, and they are preparing final recipe. There is no chance of revealing. They didn't take patent itself. Why? Because if they take a patent, that design will be revealed to the world. Then every company can prepare. Then no demand for KFC. Will you try KFC? Self. Not in restaurant. I am asking trying in kitchen. Okay, like this. WPT portion. Full lesson. Listen one. Listen. That bio patent. If that bio patents are used in proper manner, then no problem, no issue. If these bio patents are not used properly or unauthorized usage is there, means then it is called as biopiracy. Biopiracy is unauthorized usage of a biological product or a concept or invention or a design or a methodology without taking the permission. Without unauthorized usage means without taking the permission or without giving any compensation to the patent holder. A patent holder, bio patent holder is there. To that bio patent holder, if any other person is using this concept or design or a product, they have to take some permission by paying some compensation. But many multinational companies are doing this biopiracy without paying compensation or without taking the permission. Suppose if you see that biopiracy, how it is giving some problems means, suppose in India there is around 2 lakhs varieties of rice. Among them 27 varieties were there which are related to basmati rice. Basmati is a scented rice variety which gives good aroma, okay, flavor and everything are good. 27 basmati varieties of rice were recorded in India according to our ancient texts and folklore. Okay, but recently means I mean just before 20 years I think, in where 1997. Okay, in 1997 one US company called MS Rice Tech. This Rice Tech company developed 3 new varieties of basmati. 3 new varieties they developed in 1997. Okay, 3 new varieties they developed means they did a good job, but they got patent for all varieties of basmati. 3 new varieties they prepared, but they got this biopatent for all 27 varieties. When biopatent was given to MS Rice Tech company, all basmati varieties are belonging to them. That means a biopatent was given means then other sources, other persons cannot cultivate. If we are cultivating that remaining piece varieties which are our native, we have to pay compensation to them. We can't directly sell them in markets. No profit to the farmers, like that some problems will develop. Later Indian government claimed that these basmati varieties are present in India from native, so they are not created by this MS Rice Tech, like that some complaints are registered. Later USPTO, which is an organization, United States Patent and Trademark Office, these cancelled that biopatent of MS Rice Tech and patent was confined or given for new 3 varieties only. Biopatent was given for only 3 new varieties, remaining varieties biopatent was withdrawn. Like that some organizations are monitoring. Like that in India there is the presence of an organization which is called as CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. This organization is also working with biopatents. EPO is there, European Patent Office. This European Patent Office is also allotting patents and monitoring the use of environmental resources. So not only this basmati variety, haldi varieties, haldi, you know what is that? Turmeric. This turmeric is normally being used as antiseptic and antibacterial agent in the India from ancient days. But some companies got patent. Philippines, Haldiva. Patent got by that Philippines. Where is that? European. Wound healing had been generalized in India in 1995. Yeah. Neem oil. No, it is given somewhere. University of Mississippi. Yeah. University of Mississippi, they gave permission for using haldi by another company. University of Mississippi gave patent. Got by which company? Va? Turmeric powder, medical center granted. That was not given here also. No need. As a healing agent and antibacterial agent, Haldi was being used in India from olden days, but University of Mississippi gave another company a biopatent regarding usage of haldi products. CSIR claimed that, I mean, this organization argued that it is belonging to India, then that was removed. I mean, similarly, neem oil is used as killing some microbes. Normally, neem oil is being used in agriculture also. So that neem oil is also being used in India from olden days. But for neem oil, another company got a biopatent. So when biopatent is got by, I mean, taken by one company, means that company can only sell all the products related to the neem oil. So that also later cancelled. Like that, Indian Parliament also passed a bill which is related to amendments of these trademarks and everything. That also they released. But this biopatent is a major problem between developing and developed countries. If you see developed countries, they have good financial resource, but they have well developed. They have financial resources and developed machineries and concepts. They are technically developed, but environmental resources are very less in that country. Environmental resources bioresources are very less available in that country. They have well technical knowledge, I mean technical principles or concepts are well developed in that country, and economically they are strong, but bioresources are very less. Whereas in developing countries or poor countries or underdeveloped countries, they are not environmentally strong, but bioresources are well available. In these countries, as bioresources are well available, but economically we are not strong, so we can't utilize that bioresources up to fully. So these bioresources which are available in these developing countries are pirated to the developed countries. That is the major problem of using the environmental products, okay, as biopiracy. Okay, suppose if this biopatents, I mean between these countries where developed countries or underdeveloped countries, between them some bio wars are also being made. Bio war, if a pathogen is used to create some diseases in some countries and get some benefits, that is considered as a bio war. Bio wars are also being done. Okay, whereas normally nowadays bio wars are becoming more. I mean, what, 7th sense? Seventh sense. Yes. Nadipinayagar Surya. Okay. Enough for now. With this biotechnology application chapter is also complete. Next we will start cell cycle, cell division. Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.